Hi, welcome back to the garage, and we're going to be working on this once again. And what we need to do is replace the fuel pump today, because I have under purchase and sale on the house, and I only have another week and a half before I need to get this out of here, and this is the last weekend I can work on it. So it's currently Sunday, and we are going to replace the fuel pump. I'm going to try to take this for a ride to the gas station to fill the tank, see if the gas gauge works. I don't think there's a lot of gas in it, but it says empty. I did notice yesterday when we were running it, it would seem like it was boiling over a little bit, which doesn't make much sense to me, seeing how it's got a brand new water pump. So I'm thinking most likely thermostat. So without further ado, let's get back to work on this. And I need to get rid of the Chinese clickety-clack and put the mechanical fuel pump back on it. So let's do it. All right, so the car sat overnight and there is no drips in the pan. So water pump leak is fixed, and we ran it for quite a while and no issues. It looks like it's only a couple of bolts, and she should come right off. And you can see up there a new water pump. So I got to take the return line off and the hard fuel line, and then we can remove the pump itself. And I'm probably going to replace that line coming off of that hard line right there. Most likely will be a wise choice. All right, let's get to it. Luckily, I sprayed it with some penetrant, and I was lucky enough to get this thing to turn. Not always the case with old cars. So let's get that out of the way. Well, the new fuel pump's in. That was not easy. One of the screws wasn't long enough. It was a little bit cross-threaded, so I had to find a longer one, cut it down. It was a 5/16/18. Anyways, it's in there now. The lines are all hooked up. I'm going to pull the temporary gas line up and out, and then I think we're going to head up top now, and I want to pop the thermostat out because I think it's stuck. Hopefully we don't make a mess here, but I think we're going to. Maybe not. That's good. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take these screws out. And pull it right out. Oh, she's leaking gas everywhere. All right, let's see. This one here is a little on the gummy side. I'm not 100% happy with this, but of course, everything's got to be in my way. All right, we got antifreeze leaking out, so it's probably going to be a mess on the floor, but stuck in there pretty good. All right, so I don't know if this thermostat's any good, but I don't want to play games with it. I want to make sure that we're flowing good, so I am going to take this thing apart. Take the guts out of it and put it back and make sure it has some form of flow to it, but you want it somewhat restricted as well. So, and they sell restrictors, so we're just gonna have to cut all this out. Try not to deform it too much. There we go. Same on this side. There we go. And we took the guts out. Now we have this piece here that we can put back in. It will restrict it to let the fluid do its thing, but it won't block it. So I want to get all this metal stuff out of here. I don't want any chance of this causing problems. Alright, we'll pop that back in. Made my own gasket out of a cardboard box. I'm gonna permatex it or gasket maker it, and we're gonna slap it back together and see if it leaks. Alright guys, it's running, as you can see down here. It's got good flow. It's got really good flow. Now, do I need a thermostat in this? No, because it's never getting driven in the winter. And as long as there's some type of a restriction in there, it will stay in the block long enough to soak the heat out of it. So, as long as that thing don't leak, I don't think it will, I'm going to stick with it. Now, we'll let it run for a little while. Off the high-speed cam, let it run for a little while. So I want to make sure that we don't have any gas leaks. She's still running rough, this carburetor for sure, but I got a rebuild kit for it. We're going to rebuild that either in this video or in a future video. More to come on that. But first of all, I gotta take this thing for a ride and put some fresh gas in it. I took it for a ride to the gas station. When I got back, both front lines burst going to the fuel pump. I should have changed them, but I didn't. I just changed them. And I had fuel pouring out of the gas tank, which that I don't understand why. Doesn't seem to be doing it now. I don't know if it had something to do with the lines bursting. But I don't have any leaks now. Looks really good. And the temperature is in a reasonable spot, nice and cool. And the gas gauge still says full. Oil pressure looks good. The brake light's on. I'm going to look at that in a minute and see if I can figure out why it's hanging up. And if you look, I release it. God, it is in one hand. But if you release it, you can see that it's floppy biscuit. It's missing the spring. So I'm going to see if I can figure out where the spring goes. See if I can find one in the garage over here and pop the spring back on it, so when you release it, it snaps back up. We do have a brake light on. Don't know what that's from. I filled the master cylinder, so it can't be that. So I'll let it run for a little while longer. See if I have any more gas leaks. And I got to figure out if I can throw some dirt on that pile right there. All right, no leaks. Got back to the garage. There's no gas leaks under the front. And I don't see gas pouring out of the tank again. And that was weird. I want to think that because the line broke. I don't even know. Just very weird. I don't understand it. The return was on there. Maybe it was forcing the gas back up and through. and it was pushing it up through the I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it was pressurizing the tank. Who knows? Anyways, glad that wasn't my driveway at home. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the emergency brake now and see if I can slap a spring on it.
Get this fool. The car. Uh-oh. That didn't sound good.
So I'm driving this thing home, and it is all over the road. It is sloppy, scary, brakes are mushy. Man, it's frightful. This thing needs a lot of attention. But nice view. Anyway, I'm gonna put the phone down because this is kind of scary. Alright, after a long, scary ride home, it's back at home base, and we got it on the lift. Let's look in the trunk and see the parts that I had scrounged up in the garage. Alright, so this is the stuff that I grabbed in the garage. Now, these hubcaps were originally on the car before I purchased the torque thrust wheels and tires. But I just want to go over some of the stuff. So a lot of this stuff here I grabbed out of my dad's garage because we sold the house as is with everything in it. Or basically, we leave behind what we don't want. So what I did was I put together a toolbox with tools. My dad had a lot of tools. I would say he had enough tools to outfit three businesses, let's just say. My brother took most of the tools because he doesn't really have any tools, so he took 90% of them. I took maybe 10%, of most of it specialty stuff. And I did put together like a travel box because I currently don't have one, but I do now. So, all right, there's that. I grabbed different things like a compression fitting for brake line. I'm pretty sure that that's a condenser. I grabbed some fuses because I don't have any of these old school fuses down in here, just in case I need them. I grabbed them. I grabbed some bulbs because I think some of the lights might not be working on this car. I'll have to order some. I grabbed this thing here. This is what they call a noise suppressor kit, and you put these on top of your I think you put these on top of your distributor cap, and it takes the noise out of your radio, because I guess back when radios were transistor, you would get a lot of static, and it came with a isolated condenser as well. I'm never going to use this, but I am going to clean it up, and it'll make a nice wall hanger. So that's why I grabbed that. We got a bunch of other stuff in here. New battery ends. The ones on this car are not great. There was some new hoses. I grabbed them. There's some heater core line. Down in here is fuel line. I grabbed a bunch of quarter jets. I think I grabbed 3. There's 1. There's 2. And then there's 3. I grabbed them for parts, just in case. Well, I am going to rebuild the one on this car, but if I need something, I got parts. I don't have to go buy them. This is the air cleaner for this car. These are bumperettes that went on the front bumper. My dad must have took them off. The rears are still on. He must have took them off for some reason, so I grabbed them. These are just radiator bushings. This looks like a square body fender directional or parking light, so to speak. What else did I grab? Let's see what's in here. Let me set you down if I can. You guys can see. So I grabbed this box of bushings because these look like the same bushings. They're either they look like the bushings for a shock absorber or stabilizer bar, and the bushings on this car are shot, so we need to do that. And then there's some, like, just, I think this is just random brake parts. Yeah, these are drum brake parts. Might need them, might not, don't know. And then there's a bunch of air cleaners. This is 83 Chevy, probably went to a pickup truck. And there's another one here. Again, it's brand new, so I grabbed it. I don't know if I'll use it. If not, I'll toss it. Let's see, what do we got here? And I grabbed this. It's a die set. I don't have a die set, so I mean, unfortunately, it's fractional. Most of the stuff that I work on now is metric, but I don't have a die set in general, so that's nice to have. I grabbed, let's see, I grabbed this headlight. I don't know if the bulb's any good, but the headlights on this car right now are not working, so that bulb might be good. This is to cleaning battery terminals. We already saw this stuff here. Let's move this out of the way. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, I grabbed this. This is a electronic ignition distributor for General Motors, and they're all the same, whether it's a small block or a big block. They're pretty much all the same. It just matters the firing order, what you set your plugs at. If this, I don't know if this is any good. It probably is. If it's good, I'm gonna probably switch this car over to electronic ignition and get rid of the points, because this is just a more efficient way to run it, and it's easier to tune. Basically, all you have to do when you got one of these is just set the timing. You don't have to do dwell and all that kind of stuff with the points, and then you don't have to worry about the points going bad on you. Let's see what else we got. I grabbed this antique horn right here. It's got a pretty cool sound to it. I touched it off on the battery. It is 12 volt too. It says right there 12 volt, so don't know what it came from or what it's going to, but pretty cool. I like the sound of it. Well, hang on to it. I already saw the gas line, and I grabbed this, which is just a bunch of different grommets. And I don't know if you saw in the video earlier, I had to buy the license plate plastic to put in the bumper. I had found this after I already bought them. Go figure. Here's some body panel clips. Hang on to those. This is a crimping tool, which is nice. Another battery end. Some more fuses. Another compression fitting. There's some miscellaneous screws I grabbed. I grabbed a lot of screws. Here's a points and condenser tune-up kit. You guys can see that, brand new, never used. Grab that. And we have a vacuum gauge for setting the vacuum. This is how you tune the carburetor, which is pretty nice. I didn't have one of those. I got one of those now. And here, these are body panel clips. Always useful to have. Grabbed a couple of them. I found this Mikuni cob. Is it Mikuni? Oh no, it's a Solex cob. No, it is Mikuni. I don't know what this went to. It went to a motorcycle. I grabbed it. I do a lot of motorcycle stuff on the channel, which you guys know. Dirt bikes, so I grabbed it because Mikuni carbs are the best, and they're getting pretty hard to come by now. And when they're selling them used, they want big money. These are the plugs for the rear drums, so you can go in the back side of the dust shield and adjust the brake. Those are the covers. And then brand new electronic ignition distributor, which would be nice if I switch this over. There's a, it looks like an emergency brake clip, and I gotta do the rear brakes on this, so that looks like it'll come in handy. Let's see what else we got. Various brake lines and stuff I found. This here is a full gasket set for a head gasket set for, I'm pretty sure this is for a 305 small block. Yeah, 305 Chevy small block. I had a pickup truck back, an 88 GMC pickup, and the head gasket went on it, and I bought that set. I only used one of the head gaskets. This here is another, what this looks like, it is valve cover gasket, and this is for $455. So this valve cover gasket goes to this car, so we'll hang on to that. Again, these are the bumperettes. Let's rotate you over so you can see. And then I think the last thing in this box right here, more fuses. And then the last thing in this box here was a exhaust hanger. I don't know if I'll use it, but I know this car needs exhaust work, so I grabbed it anyway. And that's pretty much it for what I scavenged out of the garage when we were cleaning it up and going through all the stuff. All right, let's go over the car now together, and let's see what it's going to need to get roadworthy. It is legally registered right now, but it is a scary drive, and it won't pass inspection the way it is, because Massachusetts really are really tough when it comes to inspection. They really go through the car with a fine-tooth comb. So let's look and see what it needs, and we'll start making a list. All right, when I drove this thing to the house here, it was all over the road. So as you can see right here, all the steering components are completely wasted on this, and the wheel bearings aren't much better. The other side is just as bad. Now, I took it for a ride, but it was still at my dad's, and the rear tires, now I put the 8.5s on it. The rear tires were, this thing was like a cheese grater. It was rubbing them really bad, so I had to put the skinnies back on. And the reason for that is the rear shocks are completely shot on this, and so at the front. This thing rode like this. It was pretty scary with the fact that it was bouncing around like that, and the steering being as bad as it was. It was a white knuckle drive. This car drives literally like it doesn't have any shock absorbers in it at all, and it's just straight springs. It is crazy. Now that I'm looking at this, I saw this in the trunk. It is literally the same exact one, and this one is a little better shaped than that, so I'll probably swap one of them out. Interesting. I thought it went to a square body. Let's take a look underneath the car now, and as you can see here, we've got a bit of rot there in the trunk. The frame itself looks really good. Looks like my dad might have undercoated this at one point. I don't really see any real issues here. There's some peeling. This looks a little rough. Stuff's flaking and falling, so it's going to require some cleanup under here. A little bit of stuff in there. We'll clean it all up. Let's go a little deeper. The shocks are completely shot. They're green. I don't know. They've been in this car probably since the car was born. Looks like the gas lines up there are new. The tank is obviously new. Everything up there looks pretty good. I may drop this rear end down. I don't know. Maybe put some performance springs in this thing or something. I don't know. We'll see. The muffler is completely shot, as you can see. The floor pans don't look too bad. That one, the passenger side floor pan, looks like it's rotted out down there. The emergency brake does not work at all, which is not great. So we're going to have to get emergency brake cables for this. Replace everything. So I guess we might as well start on that. Start pulling that apart. Can't get a sticker without it. The exhaust is shot. We're going to have to get new exhaust. At least one of them anyway is shot. I'll replace them both. It looks like they're just regular exhaust, and that is true dual exhaust too, as you guys can see. So we'll have to figure out how about we're gonna do this. But for now, I think the big thing is going to be these rear shocks for sure. I ordered shocks. They're coming. They should be here relatively soon. And it looks like that maybe my dad did rear cylinders, because that adjusting screw looks brand new, and that line looks like it's been pieced together. So we'll have to look into that. That side there looks okay. That looks like a brand new cylinder too. All right. I think the first thing we need to do is remove the wheels. As far as like the floor pans and all that, I'm not really gonna get too involved with that straight away, but somebody did spray undercoating under here, and it's really starting to peel and flake off. It's probably one of the worst things you could do to a car. Don't ever do it. It just makes it so much worse. All right, this is an 8. What is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 10 bolt, not a 12 bolt. You can tell because it's got the center hole here, and a 12 bolt would have two bolts down here. It is limited slip. It's not a posi track. So there's that. All right, I started a list. It's a pretty big list. Let's go over so far what we need to do in order to just try to get this car to drive. So this is the main list. This is what we have to do to get it roadworthy. This is some of the stuff I want to do after it's roadworthy, as well as the stuff over here. But we'll start with what we need to do to get it roadworthy. We need to address the front wheel bearings. It needs a tune-up. We need to do the timing. The exhaust is shot. Rear shocks are bad, need replacement. Front shocks need replacement. Pitman arm needs to be replaced. Idler arm needs to be replaced. Tie rod ends. I'd like to switch it to electronic ignition. I need to rebuild the carburetor. I need emergency brake fix, which means I need to replace all the cables. Replace brake lines where needed. I'm assuming just the rubber ones up front for sure. I'm noticing that some of the brake lines were done already. I think my dad already did them. Needs new tires. Actually, new tires I already did. That's done. Thermostat. If you remember in the last video, I took the thermostat out, took the guts out of it. I don't think I'm gonna even mess with that right now, because I'm not gonna drive it in the winter anyway. Replace the radiator hoses. I'm probably gonna do that as well. Replace the rear brakes. I don't know what the rear brakes look like yet. We may not need to do it. And then last but not least, the alternator. The battery's not charging, so I gotta figure out why. Now, the next list, stuff that I want to do after it's running and driving. The belt line weather stripping. I will show you that in a second. That's on the doors, the outside of the doors. It's completely shot. Water will just run right down into the doors, and that's not good. The door rubber, the rubber strips around the door, I need to replace those. It needs a trunk pan. It needs the inner door panel wipes, which I'll show you in a second. The carpet needs to be replaced. Could use a trunk mat. I need to fix the lights. I need to fix the headlights. They don't work. Parking lights don't work. The directionals don't work. The plate lights don't work. The only lights that work right now are the brake lights. AC doesn't work, and I need to adjust the doors because they're sagging. And then some of the other stuff is, this is more of a cosmetic. I want to tuck the front bumper because I don't like the 5 mile an hour bumper in the front. I want to get the port window trim. I did see some on eBay, a little pricey because they don't make it anymore, but I'm probably going to end up buying it. Clean up the engine bay and detail the interior. So that's a pretty big list, and I'm sure the list is going to grow. The more we dig into it, the more stuff we're going to need. Let me take you over and show you what I mean by the belt line weather stripping and the inner door strip. All right, so this is as you can see here, it's all rotted. It looks like my dad painted it. Try to cover it up, but all the plastic is like gone and it's rotted out. And the wipers, like you can see right in here, the wiper's not even really doing anything. So that needs to be replaced on both sides. And then the inner wipes, which are these here, they might be all right. That one there actually looks all right. Let's go check out the driver's door. Oh, and these need to be replaced also. The weather strip around the doors, it's not sealing very well. And as you can see down there, my dad actually bought the kit to do both doors. So I don't have to buy it. It's down there. I just need to install it. And you can see on this side, it's just as bad. It's all rotted out. And this is just on the top of the door. It's just like a piece of molding that goes on here. My dad put some screws in there because the clips are probably broken. And as you can see, it's just completely shot. It needs to be replaced. It looks like he tried fixing this at one time because there's some weather strip cement there. But we got new ones, so I'm going to put them on. The unfortunate side is they don't reproduce this because this is not a popular car. So this piece of what they call belt line weather strip is not something you can buy new, and they don't repop it. So I found one website that has a set, and they're from Monte Carlo, same year. And the Monte Carlo and the Buick and the Oldsmobile, I think, have similar doors. The only difference is like the outer skin, but I'm pretty sure that this chrome piece on top is the same. I did notice that the Buick has this extended piece right here, this extended piece of chrome that the Monte Carlo and the Oldsmobile don't have. But the rest of it looks pretty much the same. It's just a strip, and it curves up slightly on the end here. So I'm probably going to have to buy those, and those are very expensive. It's like $350 for that set. I don't really have a choice. They need to be replaced, and it's the only set I could find. So that's what we're going to end up having to do. Now, port window trim. As you guys can see here, there's no trim here. You can see the weather stripping and stuff. So I need to get the trim for these port windows because they look terrible. And the grass is scratched in multiple spots. I don't know how that would have happened, but unfortunately it is. So I need to get this trim because this looks terrible. I think it'll look much better with the trim around it. So I'm going to buy that trim. And again, they don't repop it. There's a set on eBay, I think, for 180 bucks. I'm probably going to have to buy them. I don't really have a choice. So that's some of the cosmetic stuff that I'm going to do. This stuff here definitely has to get done because it cannot even be out in the rain without those replaced because the door will just fill up with water, rainwater. It did it when I washed it. So that is a priority in order for me to put this thing outside or even wash it. So I'm probably going to have to go and get them straight away. So here's the list. I'm probably going to put it on the windshield, underneath the windshield wiper, and scrap them off as I knock them out. So that's pretty much the list. This list is going to grow. I'm sure this column is going to get bigger. This column will probably get bigger, and then the beautification column is probably going to get bigger too because there's all kinds of stuff that I want to do. I need to take the grill. I need to take these grills out of the bumper. I need to clean them up and paint them. There's a lot of stuff I need to do to make this car look presentable, and we'll be adding it to this column here. But for now, we know where we got to start. This is a lot of work right here. This is a lot of money in parts. I'm not going to spend it all in one shot. I am going to do this over a period of time, maybe even years. We'll see. But we need to get started, so let's do it. Also, I want to show you that I already did start buying parts for this. This is the carburetor rebuild kit, and this is a new accelerator pump. And you guys can see down in there, those are the parts. So, and this wasn't cheap. I think between the carb kit and the accelerator pump, I think this was like $100. So the parts are going to cost some money for this car, but it's a cool car, and I'm never going to get rid of it. So let's get to fixing it, shall we? Brakes look brand new. So my dad, and that's a new master cylinder. It's really dirty in here. I'll have to vacuum it all out because the car's been sitting for a long time, so I'll have to clean those drums up a little bit. But everything looks pretty good in here. I'm gonna have to take everything off in order to get that emergency brake cable off of there, but it is what it is. Some of the stuff's a little bit on the rusty side. I might replace it because I do have a couple of brake pot kits. We'll see. All right, yeah, let's work on getting the shocks out because I did order a set of air shocks and they should be here today in the mail, so let's work on getting those out. See if I can drop the axle down, get that spring out. Alright, I'm going to have to cut this out. I cannot get that last bolt out of there. So this is going to have to get cut out. And look at the green paint on that. That's the paint from the car, which is weird. And these shocks are completely spent. I just want to get a quick video of this so I know how this went, because I'm going to do some rust converter up here. I want to take this off, but I want to know the remember the orientation for the isolator. Not in that bad a shape, it's just basically surface rust, and I'm gonna rust convert all this before I put any of the stuff back together. Here's the shock I took out. Wasn't easy. I had to cut this bolt and then bend it back and forth and snapped it out. I got it out, but I just want to show you how bad this shock is. Took me almost nothing to push that in, and as you can see, it's not rebounding. No good. All right, the shocks are out. And right now I'm cleaning up, knocking all the rust off, all the flaky stuff. I'm going to use rust encapsulator to, which is the stuff I use from, crap. I'll show you what it is when I get to it. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, you just flake off the heavy stuff, and I'm just gonna hit it with a wire brush real quick and clean this all up. That was a lot of work. It's all cleaned up now. I vacuumed it. I must have took 10 pounds of rust off the floor. Easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put cardboard. I took the rotors off too. I think I'm going to buy new rotors because those do not. They're all grooved up. And the pads are brand new. So I'm just going to buy new rotors. I'm not getting rid of the car. Might as well do it right. So those are probably going in the trash. But anyways, I'm going to add those to the list. Next is I'm going to lay cardboard down. And I'm going to treat all the rust. Alright, this is what I'm going to treat the rust with. This stuff works really good. I use it on just about everything that's outside that has rust. It stops the rust immediately, and then you can paint over it, and the rust stays away for a long time. It's all out. I only had maybe, well, I don't have that much left. It should be enough for me to treat the areas where above the shock towers and stuff, so top of the shock tower, so I can reinstall the shocks. Anyways, I'm going to go do that now. Okay, it's all on there, and you can see it's kind of milky white. It'll dry black, and that will fix everything. And you guys can see up in there, that's all done as well. Check the other side. This side here is done, and up there is also done. So we'll let this dry. It's got to dry for 24 hours. I'm gonna order up some more stuff. I gotta get some of these brake lines. I gotta get some drums. I got a bunch of stuff. All right, guys, this is 24 hours later, and you can see it looks way better than it did before. It's not perfect, but now I can put a coat of paint on that, and it should keep it from rusting. And the other side looks just as good. I'm not gonna show it because it looks like this. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I gotta order up some stuff. I gotta let that stuff dry, I already did order air shocks for it. They should be here today. I'm not gonna have time to put them in because I got that dry. Also, I think I'm gonna order a new set of rear springs. They're not that much money. And I need to order the emergency brake cable. So I can't really put the back of this car together until I have all that stuff in there. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. There's gonna be a lot of video on this car. You guys saw the list. The list is huge. I'm only gonna be working on this car maybe once or twice a week. So the videos may be sporadic, but they will come out. And if you enjoy this type of content, please comment below. And I'll keep doing it. Maybe I'll shift the channel more towards cars rather than off-road equipment. But anyways, that's where we're at, and we'll see you guys in the next video.